been volunteering with and been an advisor with Rcoz since I think about 21. And in that time, I have personally witnessed the magic that happens when somebody, maybe for the very first time, is actually able to put words to their story. That they are able to feel safe enough to talk about their suffering. And the magic that happens in the transformation when, the pain is just carried in the story and then it is told, and the transformation that happens is really something everybody should see, I think, at least once. So, Rcoz was founded, of course, in 2020 or 21, right, Rupali?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it had a very simple but profound message. And that message was, let's raise awareness and sort of attack the stigma that gets in the way of people getting the help that they so need. And she has done it admirably through this unique platform of storytelling, in addition to the many other initiatives that have now sort of taken root. In keeping with the whole storytelling theme, I'm here to share a story as well. And that story is actually the story of the birth of Rcoz. And the story of Rcoz is actually from Rupali's own lived experience. Rupali grew up in India in a loving family where a sibling suffered from a major mental health condition. And though all the treatment was given, the medications were prescribed and appointments were kept, good clinical care was given, it was never talked about in the home. And so all her words, her worries, her fears, her questions remained unanswered. And they just folded away into silence. Like so many children who grow up around unspoken suffering, she too internalized the idea, the blame, the guilt, and the terrible idea that in some way she was responsible for what was happening in her home. It took almost couple decades of her moving to a different country on a different continent for her to look back and reflect on how those early experiences had shaped her emotional world. How she had actually taken on silence as a language. She was unable to talk about her pain and vulnerability, even in her adult relationships to her children, in her marriage. And she realized the impact of those unspoken words, the impact of that silence, and the long tail that it had. As South Asians, we all know how to wear that silence well. In fact, we all wear silence like armor. And she knows that pain only grows in darkness and silence. And so from that early determination, she has been relentless in her approach to this whole problem, in her open-minded, creative way, where she has literally created spaces where none would seem possible. We have had, programs of Chalo Baatein Kare that you will hear about in a bit, in libraries, in parks, wherever there is more than 3 people, we are willing to talk. It's just the people who have to be willing to talk back with us. But our commitment to this cause is our availability. We tell stories of success. We tell stories of strength. We tell stories of achievement and stories of normalcy. But there are many untold stories that need to be told. And those are stories of loneliness, of disconnection, of depression, of abject sadness, where the only way out seems suicide. It's amazing what storytelling actually does. When you speak of suffering, it changes shape, it changes form. That same story that was carrying suffering can become a bridge to healing, to compassion, and to care. And all we have to do is to be willing to listen without judgment, even if there is nothing you can do, you feel there is nothing you can do to help. Your presence in that moment with somebody in suffering is transformational. Because suffering only grows, as we know, if not spoken about.